So guys, the Nigerian military has made a U-turn. Finally, they've accepted that there was a coup to oust Tinubu. After coming out to deny, the Nigerian military has finally made a U-turn, accepting that there were military men who planned to oust Tinubu. Now they are saying that those military men are going to be facing trial. Let me read out how these headlines captured it. This one says, Nigerian military officers to face trial over 2025 coup plot. So guys, Tinubu tried to cover this. APC tried to cover this. Now they're accepting. When will this government learn to say the truth? I'm just wondering. Tinubu is really pushing everybody into becoming a criminal. Can you imagine? The military cannot even be trusted anymore. Several Nigerian military officers will be tried on accusations they plotted a coup against Tinubu. And this one says several Nigerian military officers will be tried on accusation they plotted a coup. And this other headline says Nigerian military says it will try officers over 2025 coup plot. So guys, this is it. Tinubu tried to cover it. Tinubu tried to downplay it, but see, now it is now open for Nigerians to see that there was actually a coup plot against the Tinubu's government. Now, Mr. Peter Obi said something. He said Tinubu shouldn't even bother coming out for 2027 election. See what Peter Obi said. This tweet says President Bola Tinubu campaign promises in 2022 was clear. If I do not provide steady electricity in my first 4 years, do not vote for me for a second time. Yet in January 2026 alone, the national grid has collapsed twice, and last year it collapsed over 12 times. Peter Obi is saying that why should Tinubu even come out to say he's campaigning for election while he promised that if he doesn't fulfill his promise, Nigerians shouldn't dare vote for him. And now he's busy using Nigerian people's money. You see the criminality in government. These people can just mess Nigerians up and still come back again for us to vote for them. So guys, let me know what you think about this as I allow you to take a look at how Arise TV has reacted to this. Now take a look.
Was director of information. He said, oh, well, there was no coup. They were investigating. They will set up a panel. Now General Uba, I think that's his name, Sulaiman Uba, who is now director of information, tells us that indeed 16 persons have been indicted. Investigation was carried out, and these persons will be court-martialed. The leading authority on military law with regard to our dispensation, I think it's General Jimmy Bawon, who wrote a book on, how the military deals with coups. But it is reassuring that General Uba is now telling us that due process will be followed, fair hearing will be allowed, and that so far the investigation has followed the due process. If you do any crime, you must be ready to face the consequences. That is what the law says. And now that it's been confirmed that certain persons try to remove through unlawful means the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I think due process should be followed. And I hope that in doing this, they will be allowed legal representation. Their rights will be protected. Now, military court-martial is likely to be secret. But I think we, the people of Nigeria, we also must be involved in the process to be properly informed. And that's a charge onto the current director of information. And nobody should be victimized on ethnic or religious grounds, because this is Nigeria. Before you know it now, some people will come, ethnic gladiators, religious extremists, saying that these people are from our village. No. The constitutional order in Nigeria says that the only way you can remove a sitting government is through democratic means, not by other means. Musawa Felix Moka, we have been told, is saying ministers should focus on their duty. I insist, as I did yesterday, that Anatu Musawa, the Minister of Tourism, Creative Economy, was very courageous to have stood up to say that, look, if you change the vice president, you change the equation because of the blackmail from the Christian community, then it will have implications, deeper consequences in the more, politically literate North. She may have said, if you don't have a Kanuri, you don't have a Hausa Fulani or
running. See him running. Wike is running. Cash him, cash him, cash him, cash him, cash him.
A landlord of FCT that is using backdoor to run. We have identified the landlord that is using backdoor to run. We have seen him with our eyes. He's not a genuine landlord that is using backdoor to run. Yes. We are FCT. We chase our landlord.
All right, well, this morning we were able to reach out to the minister's team. We spoke to Mr. Lere Olayinka, who confirmed that, yes, that was Minister Nyesom Wike in that car. Because if you look at the videos, it's not easy to really identify who the car belonged to. However, he said that the minister was not running away from anything, but that the entrance of the secretariat had been barricaded by the protesters. And instead of issuing an instruction to the security to clear those protesters, he instead chose to use a different exit from the Ministry of Agriculture so that he could make his way to the airport where he was supposed to see the president off, just to balance the story. Meanwhile, in Rivers State, loyalists of the FCT minister have won the APC primaries for Ahode East Constituency 2 and Kana Constituency 2 by-elections. Senator Magnus Abe spoke after the victory, declaring that the FCT minister Nyesom Wike is the leader of the Renewed Hope family in Rivers State.
The minister of the FCT is the leader of the Renewed Hope family in Rivers State. There is no confusion and there is no dispute about the different roles that people are playing. So that's what I want to say to Rivers people. Everybody go and revalidate your membership. We're all working together. We're all supporting President Tinubu. And Rivers State will deliver the highest percentage of votes for the Renewed Hope family in this country. That's our commitment.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Well, there we have it. Developments yesterday in the FCT and in Rivers State as well. Ayo, let me begin with you this morning where we saw those scenes. And this is the second time we're seeing something of this nature, but with a different minister. If you remember, the Minister of Finance, yes. Minister of State for Finance was reported to have also been barricaded by protesters in the yes. Yeah, so we're seeing a lot of protesting action targeted towards ministers.
Okay, so it's the era of discontent, especially with regards to the FCT minister. No, not just in the FCT, but even in Rivers State, in certain quarters. So it's not very good times for him, at least in that regard, with regards to his popularity among certain groups of people. You've broken it down. He instituted a legal action again. So there's been a disagreement, as I put it mildly, between he and the workers in the FCT. Some people have accused him of being high-handed. Some people have said that there are certain issues around contracts that are high-handed, and so they have come out as a people to protest. Even though he says he wasn't running away, the truth is that I don't agree that there should be any sort of violence to his person. People can protest peacefully as they have a right to. However, then we can then begin to look at the way and manner in which you lead. If you lead people who do not or who resist your leadership, then it questions the legitimacy around your position or the fact that people don't even want you in the position at all. Yes, we've talked about how civil servants can frustrate the efforts of well-meaning ministers. As I cited in the case of Minister David Umahi, who had set a resumption time which the people didn't like and they protested against him. But there are also cases where they have legitimate concerns around the way in which their work life is being handled or mishandled. In this case has been accused by Minister Wike. And so the most important thing is, at the end of the day, we often talk about dialogue, peaceful resolution, being able to come together with the people to ensure that whilst you're trying to enforce certain due process, you must also ensure that the people that you're leading feel like they have a leader who leads with heart and with a sense of humanity. That's the only thing, that's one thing I would say about that. Then with regards to what's happening in Rivers State, there's a conflict in the statements made by the camp of the APC. On one hand, they assert the fact that they are firmly behind Governor Fubara, and in many cases that the governor is the leader of the party in that state. And then we also have in other instances where people, individuals come out to say that, okay, his governor is Mr. Nyesom Wike, who is the leader of Renewed Hope. I believe that this is now time for the APC to, like would be said on the streets, with their full chest, come out and put this matter to rest, so that Governor Fubara does not feel like an outsider, having decamped from the PDP to the APC, and possibly on the platform of assurances and reassurances to him with regards to his position in the APC. It has been made clear by the APC that he's the leader. That has to be sorted out so that we do not see political, head butts in Rivers State.
And Dr. Batik, before you go ahead, I just want to add something.
The vagueness in your commentary on the Wike matter has to be clarified.
Okay.
And it is as follows. What are the facts of the matter? The FCTA and the FCDA, they are the two bodies responsible for the management of the Federal Capital Territory. The workers, now under the umbrella of a Joint Union Action Committee, or so, JUAC, are accusing the minister of not paying attention to their welfare and not paying attention to his duties in Abuja, and that most often than not, he has been absent on duty. Those were there. That's the basic thing for this. On January 7, they served the notice of strike action that if the minister does not concentrate on his main assignment, they will go on strike. It was for 7 days on January 7. Again, on January 16, they served another notice that they want a minister that should sit down and do his work. Now, before then, the House of Representatives had also met and said Abuja had become a very smelly Federal Capital Territory. Garbage dumps everywhere. And that both the FCTA and the FCDA should concentrate on what their job is. Now, again, that was ignored. And it was on the basis of that that the Joint Union Action Committee of the FCTA and the FCDA decided to go on strike and protest. So the video that I saw, whether the minister was going to the airport to go and see of the president, they were, if you played it properly, the thing was saying, see Wike running away. Ole, catch him. That's what the play the right video.
No, she did.
Okay. No, maybe it was technical problem. So that's what they are saying. So the whole issue is about responsibility. It's about leadership. It's about concentration. Yep. And you have a situation where these federal workers are saying that Abuja don't be Rivers. Yeah. They are saying they want their minister to sit down and do the work. And then some of them in their placards even went ahead to say that the minister should be removed because he's distracted. Those are the issues, not all these general talk.
No, but Dr. Bati, it can also be argued. It can also, sorry, let me just say, it can also be argued that there are also machineries behind this protest. Because at the end of the day, if it had to do directly with their ability to discharge their duties, then it holds merit. But if it's not in terms of high-handedness of the way that it was sponsored. No, I'm saying in some quarters you can say that. No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that in speaking for both sides of the party, you have to also say that when it comes to things like this.
What I've just stated are the facts of the case. So, Rufai, as reported.
Rufai, I know you want to, please, just very briefly so we can move on. I also want you to chime into this issue of 001, because some people are also saying that, is Abba Yusuf going to be 001 in Kano above Ganduje? Is that possible? So, Magnus Abe is saying Wike is 001. No, I know, I'm just saying the issue of 001, that in Rivers, Magnus Abe is saying Wike is 001.
Okay, so a couple of things. Yeah. Dr. Abati, you see, the thing is, two truths can exist. What you said is true, but what I also said is true. So there's no vagueness. I know, so there's no vagueness about it. What you said is true. Yes, abdication of duty. I mean, we all saw it now when it was going across rivers and everywhere campaigning while workers were, complaining in Abuja and everything. We all saw the videos and shared the videos, how things are bad and everywhere is smelling and all of that. But what Ayo also said is true. And me, that you might tag me not a fan of Wike, I commend Wike for what he did, the way he ran away today. You see, Dr. Abati, Wike could have used muscle and might. And while people created barricades there, they shoot tear gas and everything, and it becomes a brouhaha. And when it becomes a brouhaha, it's not what we are saying, we'll be saying. Yeah. It has happened many times in this country. Correct. But if he decided, like Lere confirmed, that he will go through the back and just peacefully move away, I commend him for that.
Okay.
That's also truth, and it can also exist because this case could have been worse than that.
All right.
Yes, and as regards the people that are shouting thief and everything, I mean, it's protest talk, but I don't think it's necessary. As regards the 001 issue.
Very quickly, please.
You see, it has now become political when people say 001. When you ask who said Wike is 001 in this regard, it's Magnus Abi, a Wike loyalist.
Yes.
So it's not an independent arbiter, not like a party structure.
Are there any independent?
No. If it was a chairman of the party or anybody in APC, it's an independent. And Magnus Abe can, if he says that, the question is Wike a member of the APC? He's not a member of the APC. But on this one, Wike has scored a large point by ensuring that his loyalists get in there. As regards the Ganduje and the what is it called fight, that's a fight for another day. Let's not, let's not link it into that fight.
Okay, fine. Let's not link it into that fight.
Minister of the Federal Republic will call security agents to come and tear gas his staff.
Okay. Well,
whether he will be able to go to that same office the following day.
All right. There's a lot of debates that can be had now, but we have to move the conversation now to Anambra State. All right. So we're moving on now from the FCT. We focus now on Anambra State, where Governor Professor Chukwuma Soludo has ordered the closure of the Onitsha main market for 1 week following traders' failure to comply with the state government's directive to disregard the Monday sit-at-home order. The governor gave the directive on Monday during an on-site visit to the market, along with some of his aides and other government officials. Soludo warned that the closure could be extended if traders fail to comply with the directive, adding that security agencies have sealed the market to enforce the order.
This whole main market and all the adjoining these things will be locked down for the whole of this week. There will be no market anywhere here. Are you hearing me? Each Monday will come and inspect. If people are not in their respective shops, it will be shut down again. I know that people have done this sit at home on Mondays for quite some time now. And as they say, an abomination that lasts a year becomes culture. No. This can no longer go on in Anambra. You either decide that you want to trade here or you can go elsewhere. This main market, if you don't want it open, I'll come and take bulldozer and level it. Are you hearing me? And I'm very, very serious about it. I'm not joking. Going forward, any Monday, any shop that is not open will be locked for 1 week.
All right. Well, of course, there was a lot of reaction. Let's go to X, where Olauda tweeted and said, "On this one, Your Excellency, I stand with you. You cannot continue to hurt yourself in order to get back at your presumed enemies. That is the height of tomfoolery." Umenta also posted and said, "You are now sounding autocratic after winning second tenure. Some are willing to come Monday, but did you address the issue of their security? That soldiers you will use to enforce 1 week lockdown, use it for market security every Monday. Address their concern, not bullying them." And then lastly, the Litmus also posted on X and said, "Look at the markets in your state looking so awful. You're ordering closure for a week due to insecurity, but it needs to be closed to be worked on. Very disgraceful." A big mix of opinions. Rufai, I'll come to you on this. From implementation, is this the way to solve the problem? And even to some people saying that maybe we should be focusing on rehabilitating the markets and making them look more modern.
No, sir, I think the bone of contention is this, is the sit-at-home order. Governor Soludo, with due respect, you did something very wrong. And you are not realistic as a human being. Governor Soludo, these marketers, you think they don't love to trade on Mondays? You think they like to run away from their business? I have many people that have industries in Anambra. In fact, one of the oldest industries in this country, Kate Industries. And I was talking to somebody from there recently, and they were telling me how they've now shifted their structure of production in such a way that they don't produce on Monday. You think these people like to go away from the market, but they've been killed while they went to the market and they try to ignore the sit-at-home. Where is the protection for their lives? Governor Soludo, why are you talking like you don't live in Nigeria? In this same country where 177 people were kidnapped and the local government chairman was even begging them not to talk. You are telling people to go there and go to the market and be there because you said so. Which security are you providing for them? And you know the way these people behave. They just come out randomly and start to shoot sporadically. So except you, Governor Soludo, you are going to stay in the market with them for the duration of trade. Then you can tell them, if they don't observe it at all, you shut down their markets. If you are not going to stay there with them, leave them alone. You think they don't want to sell on Mondays, but you can't provide security for them. Because when it happens now, it's condolences you'll be writing. You tell your commissioner to write condolences. I condole with the people. In the Anambra, we'll fight insecurity. People will have been killed by that time. What are we telling ourselves? And please, you should reverse that order quickly.
Okay.
Is it that easy?
Lawmaker, who is the Commissioner of Information in Anambra State, issued a statement yesterday in which he said Anambra State every Monday loses about 8 billion and that the entire Southeast region loses about 19.6 billion because of this sit-at-home order which traders respect. Now, my only concern is that if you now shut down the market, the Onitsha main market, from
for the whole week, Monday to Sunday,
till next week, Monday, February 2, then of course, if you calculate that, 8 billion per day, that would be a major loss. And the only ground in this regard is that the governor says they have refused to listen to the directive that markets should be opened on Mondays. Now, which takes us to the substantial point, which means that these traders, you know, they are forced to sit at home because of threat. It's not as if they themselves want to sit at home. Therefore, the responsibility for government is to make the environment safe enough for commerce, for entrepreneurship, so that people can move freely on Mondays and go to business. The third point is that these traders, either in Onitsha main market or in Ekulobia, they are not civil servants. They are private businessmen. So they can choose on their own to determine when they open their shops or do not open their shops. So the governor giving directives to entrepreneurs, to traders, will seem to look a bit untidy because they are not civil servants.
Absolutely. And now let's move to our next story. Ayo, I know you have some words to say, but let's bring in your comments after the following story. So let's turn to the highly sensitive and, of course, controversial selection process for the next Awujale of Ijebuland, one of the most revered traditional stools in Yoruba land. Last week, the Ogun State government suspended the process following allegations of corruption, bribery, and a lack of transparency. Amid these developments, we know that Arise News spoke exclusively to one of the contenders, that's Prince Adebayo Kamal, who's the billionaire founder and CEO of Paperland Industries. And in the interview, Prince Abdul made detailed allegations of millions of naira paid, luxury vehicles donated, and the influence traded in the race for the coveted stool. He says that he is speaking out as a whistleblower in the interest of transparency and tradition, calling for the Ogun State government to investigate. Now, since these revelations, a video has emerged of Ghana Must Go bags being delivered to the Afobajes alongside what appears to be a list of the shortlisted candidates. Here's the video. Well, of course, it's difficult for us to ascertain the contents of the bags or what was written on the pieces of paper. But Ayo, this adds more fuel to the stories emerging from this very, very hotly contested stool.
You know, I'm smiling. Of the three on the table, I'm the only
You're the neutral party.
The neutral party.
You're the neutral party.
We talked about this earlier. To my left, I had the Jebu man. To my right, I had the Egba man. No, but he has a lot to say. But let me just quickly speak on this. From a neutral perspective, and just as a Nigerian. Like you mentioned, if you look at that video, there are a number of things that are questionable. The reason why is because when you see Ghana Must Go back traditionally in Nigeria, what comes to mind? It's the branding of the bag. You see Ghana Must Go carries what? Money. However, there's no proof empirically that it's money that was inside the Ghana Must Go bag. It could very well be clothes for charity. It could very well be papers for listing the family members in Fushegmuwa. Anything could have been in the Ghana Must Go bag. So it would be remiss of me to now just conclude that because Ghana Must Go is synonymous with money in Nigeria, it is definitely money there. however, the accusations or allegations made by Prince Abdul. I want to act shocked, like, oh my goodness, why are we tainting such a process that ought to be, reverential in its state? But the truth is that this is a reflection of our society. How many positions have been gotten through payments or bribes or through inducements? In Nigeria, a lot of times is man no man, and it's quite unfortunate that it has now trickled to traditional institutions that ought to be, seen as, revered, is sacred. In fact, what they would say is the gods that choose. You consult, the gods to find out who would be. But we now see that there's a monetization and a politicization of the revered stool of the Awujale. Now, what we are asking for is that the governor, as he already suspended last week, institute a full investigation. If one of the contenders has come out very boldly to say that, to say that he's coming out as a whistleblower, that these and these are things that are happening. Some people have said it happens everywhere, but the fact that it happens everywhere should not justify that it's happening in this instance. And just for the preservation of culture and the younger people who are watching and who are looking ahead, there ought to be an investigation, and perhaps the process should be as I don't know how they're going to redeem what has already been tainted so far, but let's see an investigation and let's see what happens afterwards.
Let's hear from the Jabuma before I intervene.
So, a couple of things.
Please, very quickly, because we have a lot of stories.
So I just want to set the record straight. While I was talking about the history of Ijebode and Remo, I mean, I got a couple of messages. Some people took umbrage and all of that as regards when I was talking about Ijebode dominance. But there's a 1939-37 Martindale Commission of Inquiry that talked about the fact that, yes, even if in the pre-colonial era, Ijebode had a lot of dominance, but that changed in 1870 and it was just like a tutelar thing. People can read more about that, for the concept of what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is this, please, with due respect, I don't think the state government should even be the one to investigate. I think there are too many interested parties in this case of Awujale. And that's why I was calling on the EFCC the other time. I don't think the state government... Yeah, probably... DSS. I don't think the state government should be the one to investigate. I think the EFCC should be brought in because you want a level of clarity as regards this corruption allegation. That interview has tainted the process. It's already a shame and disgrace. Don't mind Dr. Abati. He's talking tongue-in-cheek. He's an Egba man. I know what he's doing.
That's why I went to Ayo, because I knew Ayo is neutral.
Don't predict what I will say.
I know what he's doing.
We really need to move on.
He says I shouldn't predict what he's saying. He's done it to me this morning. He said, you Ijebu people. He kept on, he repeated that on 2 occasions. You Ijebu people. So
we've already spoken
for the
about
sanity of the
issue.
process, please do not allow Dr. Abati to talk about this issue. Please, I beg you. Move on.
Dr. Abati can add this to future comments in the next story.
What I was calling for is a peaceful selection process.
That's it.
And respect for that reverse.
That is it.
But it's something else I wanted to talk about. I think we should cease and desist from using this expression, Ghana must go. The English word for it is a jute bag.
Yes, you're right.
I don't think Ghanaians will feel very comfortable that Nigerians have defined a jute bag as Ghana must go.
Correct.
We don't want Ghana to go. Ghana is a very friendly country.
Yes, that era is
and we have very good bilateral relations with the Ghanaians.
Yes,
so correct. Please, use the word jute bag.
Jute bag.
Not
very,
Ghana
very well
must
said.
Ghana
Thank you
is
very
not
much.
going anywhere.
But can I get a jute? I wonder if they'll know what I'm referring to in the markets when I ask for a jute bag. But let's go on to our next story, where the Minister of Works, David Umahi, has said that his political influence and status have grown far beyond what they were when he served as governor of Ebonyi State. Umahi made the statement while speaking at a community gathering in Ebonyi State as he was flanked by his son, 27-year-old Osborne Umahi, who is a candidate for the APC chairmanship seat for Ohazora local government area of the state. And of course, we know that his son recently secured the nomination form for 30 million naira. The video of Umahi speaking has gone viral on X.
Embrace me as one of your own. Don't listen to noisemakers. My capacity is like 10 times when I was governor. I'm very, very dangerous now. Let nobody follow me. Because it's very dangerous. You hear me, so? You hear me, so? We have the capacity to do good things for the Chigweze. Come together, Tell your sons and daughters, very illustrious and industrious, to come together. Let them approach me. Whatever is their need, they will have it done. Okay,
All right, well, this, of course, elicited a flurry of reactions. Let's go to X, where Stephen said, what the Minister of Works, David Umahi, said is highly inappropriate and concerning. Public officials are expected to serve with humility, integrity, and a sense of responsibility, not to boast about wealth in public or power. Claiming to be very dangerous and emphasizing personal and family wealth as a measure of capability sends a threatening and arrogant message to publicly and is unacceptable, which is entirely unacceptable in a public servant. Leaders should inspire trust and service to people, not intimidation or vanity. This statement deserves strong condemnation. Quickly to Triple Tweet, who said, this is the kind of talk that excites voters here. Loud confidence, raw power, and displays of personal wealth are often mistaken for competence. In our politics, bravado wins applause, while sober conversations about policy, accountability, and systems are dismissed as lamba.
Lamba means lie.
Yes.
Lamba is actually supposed to be the 11th letter of the Greek alphabet.
Yes.
But I think it's become a byword for lie.
For lie.
I think that the Minister of Works may have been taken out of context, because I listened to what he said, and taken out of context to the extent that he said he was speaking in jest. It was a mirthful, playful contest. He said that now, as a minister, he is dangerous. Such a word does not exist in the English language. The word that exists in the English language is dangerous. So dangerous probably belongs to another type of dictionary. And then when he said it's 10 times bigger, he meant in terms of capacity and in influence. He didn't talk about cash. I didn't hear him saying he's richer now and he can do anything that is possible. And then he referred to Umahi family. That is his political family. And you could see that he was in a campaign mood. The people around him will probably be his political associates.
Including his son.
Well, I don't know whether that was his son.
That was his son there. His name is Osborne.
Okay, yeah, okay. So whether it is his son or not, but this is, political associates forum. And then he heard the youths. He called them youths. They said action. So I think in terms of the spirit and all of that, let us not overstretch it. I'm sure if he were to respond, or any of these hyperactive spokespersons, they will say he was taken out of context. So, except you want to educate me about the difference between dangerous and dangerous in Nigerian dictionary.
I want to read
just
quickly.
20 seconds for this
I
statement.
thought, Dr. Abati, in the spirit of saying the basic, I thought you were going to ask, how did a 27-year-old get 30 million to buy APC chairmanship form? Those were the questions I thought you were going to ask. 27-year-old. I mean, didn't you read it in the story?
Yes.
I thought, but maybe you forgot that, Dr. Abati. So how did he get 30 million naira in this hard country? Secondly, I thought
in Kogi, they just bought funds for the president.
You will defend
100 million.
Dr. Abati.
No, people buy funds for people.
Umahi is your guy.
This is Nigeria.
Umahi is your guy, Dr. Abati. Umahi is your guy.
No, so you don't have any evidence to that effect. Have you ever seen me with him?
No,
never.
No.
Have you ever seen me with him?
But that's the question I'm like, because
am I from the same state?
Because when Ayo said the same for Wiki, you came for Ayo and you said she has no right to say that. I
didn't say she doesn't have a right. She has a microphone that has been donated to her.
I'm not finished.
So she can say what she wants.
To our good news report now, where on January 21st, 2026, for the first time, 24 Nigerian universities appeared in the Times Higher Education World University Rankings by subject, making Nigeria the most represented country in sub-Saharan Africa in the 2026 edition. Four Nigerian universities have appeared in the Times Higher Education World University Rankings by subject, making Nigeria the most represented country in sub-Saharan Africa in the 2026 edition. The Times Higher Education subject rankings are among the most demanding global assessments of university performance. To qualify for consideration, universities must meet strict thresholds in research output and staffing. So institutions are judged on sustained academic productivity, research influence, and global engagement. Featured on the list for law are the University of Ibadan and the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. In medical and health sciences, the University of Ibadan maintained its position in the 301 to 400 band, reinforcing its status as one of Africa's most respected medical research institutions. The University of Lagos, Ahmadu Bello University, Bayero University, Kano, University of Benin, University of Jos, and UNN were also notably listed. Landmark University led in computer science, followed by Covenant University and the University of Ilorin. In physical sciences, Federal University of Technology, Mina, Landmark University, and University of Ilorin all placed highly, whilst Covenant University and the University of Ibadan ranked well in social science. I mean, I think we have to applaud our institutions. They're doing well and continue to try to raise the standard of tertiary education, a good mix of public and private institutions on that list as well.
Just to mention, Landmark and Covenant University are owned by the same Bishop Oyedepo, the same church. So just to say that there's something they are doing right. Then that list is not complete. I didn't see University of Calabar. Dr. Bati.
On that note, thank you so much.
What's the Malamite?
I'm done for what's trending today. Thank you so much. Dr. Abati, don't mind them. Don't mind them. Let's close the show.
No, it was Dr. Abati that started. When you were saying you think I will not come back?
I'm signed up.
So guys, you have seen what is happening in Nigeria. The Tinubu's government cannot be trusted even for one day. It's only lies that fill these people's mouth, as in there is no truth in Tinubu APC-led administration. Lies. That is why Nigerians are not comfortable with even providing them paying taxes, because tell me what those taxes are going to be used for, if not for their own personal gain, not for the gain of the people. So guys, the Tinubu's government is just something else. These people are something else. They don't care about the people. They don't care about Nigerians. It's all about them. It's all about their pockets. It's all about their greed. It's not about the people. That is why they don't care. They don't show any concern. Look at insecurity all over the place. Tinubu is busy moving up and down. Is it not shameful? You know? Is it not shameful? It's very, very shameful. So guys, a whole lot is happening. A whole lot is happening. I'm just wondering, why are the Northerners pushing Tinubu out of Donald Trump's hand to go to the Middle Belt? What are we doing there? You know? So I don't know what is happening now. This same Turkey that Tinubu is going to now is Turkey that has been accused of being the one funding insecurity, you know, and now that is the only safe haven Tinubu saw to go and, you know, discuss the security challenges. Tinubu has never shown any political will in ending insecurity. So guys, we are going to be monitoring this closely. What is happening in Nigeria is unbelievable. I mean, you can't believe what is happening in this country. These people just want to see Nigeria fall for Islam. Divided, they say no. They just want to see that the entire country falls for Islam. I think it is high time the US really pay attention to what is happening in Nigeria today, because the way things are going, I don't think, you know, this country can succeed without being Islamized. I mean, these people have taken over, and for them, Nigeria is their God-given right. You know, they are at liberty to do to Nigeria whatever they want to do. It's because of all this poor leadership style that make military men to go out and begin to plot coup. It's just because of all this. See all the money Tinubu is wasting going around. If he gives it to, if he gives that money to the military, I believe, will do better. If he gives that money to the military, they will do better. But guess what? It is never going to happen. They prefer to waste it on themselves. Now, some people have reacted to Edoha calling Nigeria an Islamic state. This is the direct translation of what the Turkish president tweeted. The only reason for affiliation and cooperation with Nigeria is because Nigeria is an Islamic nation. And of course, Nigeria is a member of OIC, Organization of Islamic Cooperation, so don't swear it. He could have simply talked about partnership with the biggest black nation in the world, but no. He could have simply talked about how Nigeria is strategic to Africa development, but no. He intentionally talked about Nigeria affiliation as an Islamic state. So guys, and he went ahead to say, I'm not even bothered with this. It is an agenda that is presently playing out well currently in Nigeria, a nation that hosts and finances Islamic Brotherhood is the one you want to help you curb Islamic terrorism in Nigeria. How convenient. My only problem is with Christians. They are very docile and ignorant. The very docile and ignorant ones, the ones that claim to carry light but keep wallowing in darkness and foolishness. They think they are liberal but are in severe bondage. So Edoha came out declaring Nigeria an Islamic nation. He said Nigeria is an Islamic nation, and if you ask them now to divide Nigeria, they will say no. Now, a commando in the Nigerian Navy kneeling before Sheikh Gumi, a renowned terrorist sympathizer. What a country. So guys, this is what is happening. Nigerians are really saying that Sheikh Gumi is pulling unbelievable weight in the Nigerian government. You know, a commander is kneeling before Sheikh Gumi, and he's wondering why all that kneeling. So guys, I don't know what you make of this. It's really so sad that these people's agenda is just to Islamize this country. They want to see those of them. You can see the man who is kneeling, he's a Muslim, because I think it's like an Islamic gathering. Their plan, whether they are in the military or not, they don't care. They just want to see this country Islamized. It's really, really so sad that Nigeria has deteriorated to what we are seeing today. And it's sad, you know, that we are seeing all this. I just hope that this country will get better someday, sometime. So guys, I don't know what you make of all this. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification for more. Thank you.